Hello everyone, this is Rahita, Assistant Professor at CSE Department from Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. I am here to explain a few topics of the subject Database Management System. Here let us going to see about structured query language constraints. SQL constraints are the rules which is used to limit the type of data that can go into a table and to maintain the accuracy and integrity of the data inside the table. The constraints can be divided into two types, that is a column level constraints and table level constraints. Column level constraints which limits only the column data and the table level constraints which limits the whole table data. The constraints are used to make sure that the integrity of data is maintained to the database. Following are the most used constraints that can be applied to a table, that is not null, unique, primary key, foreign key, check, default, etc. So the not null constraint, by default a column can hold the null values. If you don't want the column to have a null value, use the not null constraint. It restricts a column from having a null value. We use alter statement and modify statement to specify this constraint. One important point to note about this constraint is that it cannot be defined at the table level. So this is the structure for that. The above query will declare the SID field of the student table which will not take any null value. If you wish to alter the table after it has been created, then we can use the alter command for it. Now let us see about unique constraint. It ensures that a column will have one unique value. The unique constraint field cannot have any duplicate data and it prevents two records from having identical values in a column. We use the alter statement and modify the statement to specify this constraint. Example of unique constraint. Here we have a simple create query to create a table which will have a column ID with the unique values. Query above will declare the SID field of student table will only have the unique values and won't take the null value. Now if we wish to alter the table, it can be created. Then we can use the alter command for it. Alter table student and modify age if integer it is not null unique. So the above query specifies the SID field of the student table will have only the unique value. The primary key constraint. The primary key constraint uniquely identifies each record in a database, and the primary key must contain the unique value and it must not contain null value. The primary key is used to index the data inside the table. Here the primary key in the above example, the primary key is the SID. Foreign key constraint, it is used to relate the two tables and the relationship between the two tables matches the primary key in one of the tables with a foreign key in the second table. So this is also called a referencing key. We use alter statement and add statement to specify this constraint. To understand the foreign key, let us see its use with the help of both below tables. The order detail table is given here. So in the customer detail table, the CID is the primary key which is set as a foreign key in the order detail table. The value that is entered in the CID which is set as foreign key in order detail table must be present in customer detail table where it is set as primary key. So this prevents the invalid data to be inserted into the CID column of order detail table. So if you try to insert any incorrect data, the database will return the error and will not allow you to insert the data. The foreign key constraint at the table level is given here in this example. So in this query, the CID in the table order detail is made as foreign key, which is a reference of CID, the column in customer detail table. Now let us see about the check constraint. The check constraint is used to restrict the value of the column between a range and it prevents the check on values before storing them into the database. So it's like condition checking before saving the data into a column. The above query will restrict the SID value to be greater than 0. So using the check constraint at the column level, we use this query. Thank you.